TDI Sport. As I say, this is the Mark V model. It's got the 6 gears here, which is brilliant on the motorway. It's been a good car really to review, and the interesting part is just how stable it feels on the road when you're driving. What we're doing here, we're doing a little drive here, and as you can see me driving the car, just to show you how smooth it is and how quiet it is really for a car that is 12 years old. On getting into this car, you'll find that you find its kind of solidity really for a car of this age. Prior to this, I mean, I tried out a Citroen C3, which was a year younger than this, and it just felt like a kind of an old van really in comparison. And in terms of how it feels as a driving experience, it really is, you know, it's a nice car to drive, and especially as you've got the engine purring away here, which is the 1.9 turbo diesel injected engine. It's just nice. It's nice and smooth. There's a little bit of, I mean, it's in 6 gear here. There's just a little bit of poke when you need it, just for accelerating. And where I'm heading now on a dual carriageway, which is up in the northeast of England, which is the 1231. So what you can see there is just hopefully how kind of quiet I find it. It's probably not as quiet as say a modern Golf, but for a Mark V of its age, it really is it's a smooth drive to have. The other benefit as well is that obviously you've got the radio, you've got your climatic instrumentation there, which is all your aircon and stuff like that. But there is a little thing with the aircon on these cars that it's quite a well-known fact that they're not very good, and quite a few Mark V's that I've been reading about, the aircon is really kind of hit or miss whether it works or not, and that is just down to the actual quality of the compressor or the actual aircon unit that they've built into this car. It's just one of the kind of negatives really. I'm just going to overtake 6 gear, and yeah, just a nice little bit of acceleration there. But as I was saying about the aircon, I mean, in this car, I've had it recharged and it's been fine. But in other Mark V Golfs, it's actually known to not work properly. So, you know, you kind of, I would advise that if you do look at one of these cars as an option to purchase, especially the Mark V, I would check the aircon quite closely really to make sure that it all works and stuff, because it can be quite a costly kind of repair, especially if you've got to get a new compressor. Right, the next thing up here is the radio, and I can only play a little bit. It's not too bad at all. Let me just overtake. It's not too bad at all. I'm going to turn that off because of YouTube. It's quite clear. I mean, you've got loads of settings on it and stuff like that really, and yeah, it's a good radio. It's got your CD player in there and stuff like that. But yeah, another thing I've read about these things is apparently there's some units that you're going to make sure you've always got a CD in the player, because sometimes the actual radio turns on after you've locked the car up, because it detects there's no CD in there, so it just turns the radio on, which will drain your battery. But again, you know, this might be just in other cars. I've never experienced it, but then again, I've always had a CD in there which I've been listening to, so I'm not sure how true it is. Has there been any other issues that I've noticed with this car while we're talking about it? It'd be worth, if you're going to look for a Mark V Golf or any other car of that matter, it'd be worth investing in something like an ODB sensor, which I've reviewed on this channel. ODB sensors, what they do is you put it in the port which is just under there at the bottom, under the light controls here, and what it does, it goes through the engine management system to check, see if there's been any issues with the car, or if there's been any problems that the actual engine management's detected. Now, I haven't detected any issues on this, but I have noticed that there's been what's known as an intermittent turbo issue, where the turbo is kind of cut out at speed, or say 70 overtaking speed, 75 mile an hour, and it's been very, very rare, but it has happened the odd time. And from reading about it, it is another common issue on Golfs of this age, because what happens is, because of the turbo element of the diesel engine, it gets quite clogged up with carbon and just sediment really. And what happens is, what that does to the car is that it does to the turbo. There's veins which change the actual amount of boost that the turbo gives the engine, or the amount of pickup, if you know what I mean, just to kind of give it a layman's term. And because of the sediment and stuff, that it just kind of lessens the articulation or the amount of movement within these veins. And then what happens is it throws up an issue with the computer, and it just cuts your turbo off. You can still go at speed. It doesn't put you into severe limp mode like 30 mile an hour, but it will cut your turbo off just to protect your engine. And as I say, rarely I've had that once or twice, and it is, as I say, a common issue with kind of Golfs or anything that does short journeys and stuff in the diesel engine. And I mean, you know, please put it in the comments below if there is any, you know, if there is a fix. I mean, I have watched a fix on YouTube which is using Mr. Muscle, but again, you've got to be very careful with that, and sometimes it does lead to a new turbo. But in this, I mean, the actual turbo is not whistling, it's not, you know, whistling at speed or anything like that. It's all right. It just needs probably a little bit of a clean. I mean, I've given it a few good runs down the motorway and it's been fine. So as I say, it is a rare thing, but you know, it'd be worth you listening out for the turbo to make sure there's no loud whistle or anything like that, because that's what could catch you out. And it is a costly repair. You know, a new turbo, you're looking at about 600 for the turbo, or 1200 in, you know, to get it fitted and stuff. So I mean, again, I might be wrong. Please, you know, comment in the section below, or in the comments below. I mean, I'm no expert, but it's just a thing that I've read about these cars, and it's just you know, if you've got any experience of it, then please, you know, write in the comments below. But saying all of that, and just one other issue that I have noticed with this car, or any Golfs of this age, when you look on the two wings either side of the engine, front wings, sorry, I would look out for rust as well. Now, on diesel engines, because of the vibration of the actual engine itself, what happens is, with the actual two wings at the front, they do kind of, it does vibrate on the internal, and what happens is that kind of vibration and whatever it wears away will cause an element of rust to happen within these two wings. Now, in this day and age, and these, you know, I understand it is a 12-year-old car, but it is not a premium car, but it is it is up there. You know, rust is not really, it's a thing I associate with cars in the 70s or kind of early 80s really, but Golfs, Passats or anything like that, or even obviously the Jettas as well, they are quite prone to rust on the wings. So again, when you look out for purchasing a Golf, it's the first thing I would look at, and to see how much kind of rust there is, or if there is any rust. I mean, it is a common problem with these cars, and I'm sorry to keep repeating it, but you know, it is an issue. But I mean, I'm starting to get just a touch of rust on the front, so I'm gonna have to solve that, or you know, like, see what happens with the car. But other than that, really, from what, you know, the general maintenance and stuff, which has been all right. I mean, I've had this, you know, to review for a little bit of time, and in the time that I've had it, it's had service which cost about £140, including an MOT, which wasn't too bad. And the only other thing that's gone on it, really, from what I've been told, is the early last year, was the back calipers, which included discs, calipers and the actual disc pads, and that was for both of them. That cost about 380 quid. Now, other than that, that's all I've really known to have gone on these. So reliability wise, I mean, I don't want to kind of say it's quite a reliable car and then you guys purchase one and then you buy one which is very unreliable, but touch wood, not much has gone on it really, which is always a good thing. Right, I'm going to just quickly accelerate up here. See, yeah, it's got a nice bit of pull about it. I mean, you know, it's a good car, it really is a good car. And if I can understand, as I said earlier, that why people have an affiliation with these vehicles and really do enjoy driving them. And you know, you see some kind of presenters on car shows and stuff where they do kind of lament about the Golf. It is I really enjoy it, and it's such a great car. Would I suggest you looking into one? Well, on this, yeah, I would, because I mean, sorry, I've got it in 6th gear here, but I mean, it's struggling a little, but you know, I'm doing 40 mile an hour and it's just cruising really. It's not, you know, it's not taxing it too much, it's a great vehicle really. Right, now I'm going to shut up for a little bit, and you know, you can just see what it's like in terms of how quiet it is, or how, you know, like not relax. Well, it is relaxing because yeah, I've driven 500 miles in this over 2 days, and I haven't felt horrendously tired from the drive. And you know, that's just another testament to the German engineering and what's gone into this car to make it a comfortable kind of motorway muncher really. I mean, I would absolutely love to try a much older, well yeah, compare it to an older Golf, like a Mark IV or a Mark III, or maybe even a Mark I, just see the difference. I mean, obviously you've got your derivatives, which is the GTI and the R spec, which I have driven the R, and the R's, it's kind of on another level in terms of quality and feel, and obviously speed as well. That, you know, the way that thing accelerates with its large petrol engine is just unreal really. I'll say that again. But what I'm going to do in a minute, I'm going to kind of shut up, as I'm sure you're hoping, and just let the car do the talking really, just do the driving and just see what you think. Right, enjoy. Talking of the interior quality is very good. There's no rattles or any kind of age-related noises really. It is a testament to how well this car was put together. There's a lot of leg room in the back, and there is obviously a lot of leg room up front. And the seats are very comfortable to sit in, and the front 2 seats have got lumbar support on this model, so I'm not sure if it's common on all Golfs. It'll accommodate 2 child seats, not a problem in the back, with a possible 3rd person sitting in the middle, and it can accommodate 3 adults in the back. Now I'm going to just give it a quick, this is a 70 mile thingy, so I'm going to give it a quick, so that's 3,000 in second, 3,000 in third, well, fourth, sorry, 3,000 up to 3,000 in fifth, and then I'm going into sixth, but you know, I'm doing 1,500 revs and I'm just over 50 mile an hour. And my mile per gallon is saying 135, which I don't know how true that is with the VW Golf, but it's good. I mean, I've noticed on the Golf that you can get, I mean, I've got about 60 miles to the gallon on a run down to Birmingham, which for the engine size is, you know, you tend to associate that kind of mileage with a, you know, like a smaller engine really, like a 1.4 or a 1.6. And you know, I mean, I'm in 6th gear now. I'm just doing under, well, I'm going to do 60 now, just obviously the mileage has dipped, but if I'm doing 60 mile an hour, and it's saying I'm doing a mile per gallon of 75.1. My average while you've been watching this, interestingly, has been just under 50 miles to the gallon while you've been watching this. So, you know, in combination of driving, it is a really, really economical on fuel, good mile per gallon car to drive, really, and it's well worth it. Right, so I'm going to end the review here. I hope I haven't babbled too long. I mean, I hope it's given you an idea, or maybe even the inspiration to go and have a look at Mark V Golf if it's something you're interested in. As I say, it's worth reading up on the likes of honestjohnaswell.co.uk just to see what issues this vehicle has had. Well, not this one in particular, this one's been pretty good, but the Mark V has had, and there's a few which it does make for some scary reading. But you know, before I got this car, I didn't read them. I didn't even know it was a thing, really. But there is some issues with the car, but you know, if you find a good one, I mean, these cars, the engines alone last. I've seen a 200,000 mile Golf Mark V. I mean, as long as, like with all cars, as long as you maintain them and you look after them, and if anything goes on them, which they will do on any car, even new cars, things go on them. You know, it's worth doing a bit of research and then just finding a type of Mark V that you like. Well, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you've enjoyed the review, and as I say, I hope I haven't babbled on too much, because I'm well known for that. But you know, I've done a written review on the website as well, so you can have a look at that. But as I say, again, I'll finalise it. I hope you've enjoyed the review, and I look forward to posting more reviews of cars next time. My name's been Tony. I hope you've enjoyed it, and have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.